Hi, Michael Bettine here, and I want to introduce you to what's hopefully going to become a new regular series of videos here, and that is reviews, product reviews specifically. Now, in my career as a music journalist, I did a lot of different reviews, both recording reviews and product reviews, something I enjoyed, and I want to start incorporating that when I can into this series on YouTube. So let's talk about these first two videos I'm going to have on reviews. These are products that I have personally been interested in and that I have personally bought with my own money. So there's no sponsorship, there's no free gear, anything. These are items that I have purchased because it's something I've wanted to use. So I'm doing these reviews to tell you what I think, see if they're any good. So on to the first one. Hi, Michael Bettine here for a little different sort of video today. I've got a box here from my good friends at Sweetwater. I ordered some new parts, and what I want to do, this is going to be a two-part video, and I'm going to review some new products, or at least new to me. And I've kind of done some product reviews before, but not sort of official product reviews here. So I want to take a look at this and talk about it and do a bit of a review, and then we'll have a second part with another thing. This isn't a new thing. It's been out for a while. It's something I've been meaning to get and just finally got around to ordering because it was like, why not? You know, sometimes you just get busy and you're like, yeah, I'm going to order these parts. I'm going to order this and that, and you don't. So here we go. Okay. Get a little Sweetwater candy here. All right, so what I have ordered, this is a Gibraltar clamp. We'll just get rid of this here. And like I said, this is new to me. This is the quick T-leg clamp. You can get it in black or chrome. I, of course, prefer the black. Let's take a look at this. We'll talk about it. All right, now it's a T-clamp, but it has a quick release here. And then here's your standard sort of clamp where you would put the leg in. Now I have two different feet here with two different types of clamps. This first one, I took this off of one of my stands. It has the standard Gibraltar T-clamp. And if you notice, it also has two memory clamps, one on each side. And that's to keep this from rotating when you loosen it up to take the leg out. Here's another one, and you can see, here we go, it's rotating. This is the heavier road type clamp, road series. And you'll notice, I mean, it's loose. When you tighten it up, it's fine, but now it's rolling around. Now the idea with this, it's two independent clamps, where each of these, if you're familiar with them, it's two halves, and there's 4 screws that put the halves together, so each side is connected. Where here, it's separate ones, so we can just pop this on here and tighten it down. Let's get this. It uses a drum key. And some people will complain, well, now I have to have a drum key. Well, you should have a drum key anyway. They're cheap. You can get them for a couple bucks. And the drum key is used for a lot of different things, for different Gibraltar parts and that. But, okay. So now I've tightened this down. And the nice thing is it's completely independent. So loosen this up. Oh, it's stiff there. There, I can completely open that, and this isn't moving. And it's also one adjustment with a big wing screw. Here's a piece of tubing. I like that. To me, this gets kind of fiddly sometimes, especially if you are in a hurry. You got to bend over and you got to use two hands to get this. Where this one, it's just one screw as opposed to two. Yeah, here. And then it's also, sometimes it's fiddly because things have to be adjusted right because you're actually trying to put together this in opposition to the other side. And then you got to open it quite a bit to get it out. It's a pain. I've just been looking for something that's a little easier to manage. Let's get this loosened up. Put it in there. Tighten it down. I like it. I just ordered two to start with. Try them out. I'm going to put them on my main gigging stand, which has 2 feet, and try it out. I think it's going to make life a little easier. I'm always looking for things being easier and more efficient. The one thing about these is they run about $30 each, so they're not inexpensive. They've been out for maybe a year or so, so you're not going to probably won't find these out, as used pieces where you can pick them up for $15 or $20. These regular T-clamps, I picked them up for real cheap all the time at music stores, eBay, whatever. But since this is a newer part, yeah, you're going to have to pay for them. So this is $60 here, but I think over time I will get $60 worth of less frustration and just quicker setup and tear down out of these. I like them. Just to let you know again, this is the Quick T-Leg clamp. They come in black or chrome if you prefer, but it's great. I think it's a vast improvement. I could actually see myself getting a few more just to hold the crossbars in and make that easier and a more solid connection. So I'll test these out. I'll report how they are going later, and we'll move on to the next thing. So here we are a week later or so, and I just played a gig yesterday with my improved rack setup with 4 of the Gibraltar clamps. I have 2 down on each leg and foot connector, and then I have 2 up on where the crossbar here. I replaced the clamp on each side with one of the new Gibraltar clamps. And I have to say, I'm really impressed. It did everything I wanted and more. The main thing I wanted was just to make setup quicker. I've got the original clamp here. And as I keep saying, it's a 2-piece clamp. There are 2 parts, 2 halves, and 4 screws that pull it together. And it's a tricky process of balancing how tight you have the back ones so that you can loosen the front 2 and pull the tube out and then put it back in and tighten it, and these aren't loose or it's not holding too well. And I did have problems with the crossbar sometimes where it just wasn't stable. And part of the thing too is I got a lot of side-to-side motion, so I could take my rack and sway it like this. I could grab it and go, and it would go back and forth some. Now with these new clamps, independent parts. I mean, this has 1 screw and it's connected. This has another screw, it's connected. and they're not dependent on each other, everything is super stable. Now, one thing I did do, I put a memory lock on each foot and each crossbar, not to keep the bar from turning, because there's no problem with that. This new clamp is going to hold it. So I can, set up the same way every time. It's not like I have to put the tube in and I got to turn it a little. It's like, no, just put it in, tighten it up. It's good to go. Same thing with the feet. Stick them in, boom, tighten them up. Everything is ready. At the same time, I relabeled my gong stand and all the parts. Not that I don't know all the parts, but it just makes it easier because left and right sides are slightly different. So to be able to distinguish between them, I put sticky tape or gym tape. I've had this in a few videos on each one. So on all of what would be looking at the rack, my right side, they all have a piece of red tape to distinguish they are right side. And looking at the rack, my left side all has green tape, distinguishing it's a left side part. But the rack went together really fast. As I said, the best part was how it made the rack really stable side to side. I love that. It was solid, and even in playing the gongs, it felt more solid. The rack just, I could tell. Great clamps. Like I said, they're not cheap. They're about $30 each, but they might be worth investing in, like I did, just 4 of them, just to stabilize my rack more. Okay. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next It's Cuppa Time.